Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain here with my OG co-host, the first, the one and only, the number one in my heart. You know, even when it's Ron Arenas or Sean Campbell or one of the many guest co-hosts that sit in that chair, in my heart, it's you that's there, buddy. So that's Andreas Ruiz with I Believe in Myself Coaching. He's a motivational coach and speaker, so that has been occupying a good amount of his time, which I'm all for it because he's out there teaching and bridging a gap for the mental health community where, and let's hopefully we'll start the segment off kind of talking about that. We'll go into more where it's just like it's such a stigmatized thing that
Absolutely.
Is literally killing people.
Yeah, man. It's just, it's really alarming just to hear the numbers and how it's just on the rise, and especially amongst young men. And it's just really scary to think that a lot of these young people are taking their lives and they're like really young. It's not, just 20s. They're 17, they're 12, 10. So, I'm just on a mission right now to save lives.
Nice. Well, that being said, it's definitely something that's helped save my life and help keep me guided on creating systems and mechanisms like Andreas and like our first guest Ron Arenas, and helping other people have purpose and have guidance and not taking their lives, and that's a very loving father that's guided me even when I realized he wasn't guiding me. He was. So I'd like to start every show by giving him a little love, and today we'll start it with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
So, that being said, I have definitely, I feel like it's safe to say at this time, he's such a humble being. I don't know if he'll even accept this title, but I feel like he's one of my mentors. Definitely, whether he'll accept it or not, he's one of the guys that I look up to in the community. Certainly, someone that I'm learning from regularly, even though he would probably attest that he's learning from me in regards to, doing radio and kind of getting into this line of things. But this guy is just a stand-up quality character, stand-up act. How's the saying go? Like a stand like act
a stand-up
class
guy.
act. He's a class act.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
He's a class act. He's an amazing father. Like particularly like where I'm following his lead in regards to that is like I have teenage boys, and he has sons that are like teenagers, but then young adults as well. So it's just like I'm like right behind him, like just watching with binoculars, like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. Okay, I see you, and we talk about a lot in regards to like he lives the dream. He has his son carrying on his legacy in regards to Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, and he's in there in the kitchen, helping, make the bread, really running things. He's one of the lead chefs. So to have that is just such a beautiful thing, and to see in just him as a leader, as a, with his business and the way that he operates and just how he operates with us. Like you love LaRon as much as I do, just because of, just how he treats you and, just how he is. And I learned from that so much. So without further ado, I'll introduce my good friend Ron Arenas of Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to bring
Very
you in because I could go on probably this whole segment just because I'm just so honored to be on your team.
Well, thank you.
And
The
have
honor
you
is
be on my
mine.
team.
It
Yeah,
is.
for
It
sure.
really is.
And let's pick up kind of what Andreas was saying, because before we even started the show, I just saw like a passion in your eyes about what Andreas was talking about in regards to how, and even to touch back with Andreas, because he hasn't been here for a while, upcoming project he wants to work on, even the project he's currently working on, even where he was today, where it's just about helping men find their purpose,
right?
And the necessity of that within people's lives. And I guess real quick, you speak to that, and then we'll pivot and have Andreas kind of take it over.
Right. Well, one of my passions has been men's ministry, and I did men's ministry for about 10 years. So, one of the things is everyone has a purpose. You just need to find it. And different stages of life, you have different purposes. When you have a young family, then of course that's your purpose, to be the best dad, to be the best husband, to be the best leader of the house, and be that example to your kids.
Yeah.
And then, you have different purposes throughout different stages of your life.
Yeah. When you're kind of going through the different stages when we were talking earlier, and I know you're kind of minimizing to save time now, working up to kind of like the stage where even you want to be the best grandparent you can be.
Yeah, of course.
That's an upcoming stage that, you haven't faced yet, but I'm sure I'm
looking forward to it. Yeah. I want a granddaughter because I have 3 boys. So I want a granddaughter to spoil.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know my wife's gonna be mad at me saying this on air, but we're having a girl, so I have a little girl coming.
Oh, nice!
Soon.
Congrats!
So I'm excited to spoil the heck out of you.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. And as Ron was talking about all this stuff, and I've heard some of Ron's stories, and like some of the things that he's done in the past. Like I remember talking to him. I think I was after the Bible and breakfast.
Yeah.
That tell us a little bit about just like your experience, like when you were younger, and just like the jobs that you had to go through, and all the things that you had to go through in order for you to like get to where you're at.
I've had many jobs. Yeah. I was a firefighter and an EMT back when I was younger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and all of my jobs have basically been service. But I worked at Old Tucson, being an EMT and also a security guard. So I worked on movie set, fire and security and medical, and just different things like that. But it's always been serving people.
Yeah. And that's what I like. I don't know. I was just listening to the story. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't know he was like working at the fire department, and then just like a real example. Like I really do appreciate you and the example that you are as a man, because there aren't too many men like yourself that are really taking the lead, in the household. And that's where I think that's where the leadership is lacking in regards to men and finding their purpose and just finding a meaning, but really saying like, wait, but you have a purpose. Like your kids are right there in front of you, like they're not enjoying the moment. They're not being present in the moment and saying, okay, this is my purpose. Like, how can I raise my kid, as opposed to just like avoiding that and then going to drugs or going to like, self-pity. Being this victim sometimes, unfortunately. Like I remember I used to be a victim like when I was younger, and that's just not the way to go. It's just like taking ownership of your life. And that's what I see Ron, he's taking ownership of his life. Like what are your thoughts about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree completely with you. Yeah, when you have a family, when you have kids, I mean they watch everything that you do, whether you know it or not. I mean it's being filed into their brain most of the time forever, for their whole life. They remember the good and the bad. They remember little things that you don't even you won't remember saying or doing, but they'll see you and they'll hear you.
It's true.
All good stuff. Next segment, we're actually going to talk about Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. But that's Ron Arenas with Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing that you hear there. I'm Pastor John McLean with Veteran Rescue Mission. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. And we got Andreas Ruiz, Caddy Corner to me with I Believe in Myself Coaching. Go to IBelieveMyself.org. Right?
IBelieveMyself.org. Yep.
What else you got going on?
No. Well, we'll get back to you.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Teaser.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. I am your co-host Andres Ruiz, along the Pastor John McLean, and we have a great guest, one of my favorite guests, honestly, very humble man and a very powerful person that I really admire what he does for not only the community, but also for his family, and that's Ron Arenas. And we were just kind of talking a little bit about just like in regards to his passion around men and just like leadership. And I didn't know that you did a whole thing with men, like, with leadership in the ministry. So
I've been in a couple different churches where I've led the men's ministry.
How was that experience for you, just to experience that, helping other men?
Fantastic. You have some people that are kind of willing to be in there, and some people that maybe aren't so willing to be in there. They're in there maybe because their wife told them that they had to be in there or something like that. A little bit of pressure, but yeah. I mean, overall, it's a great experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can just imagine being in that position. I mean, we all are already in that position where we're like the model for men. You know, we have men that, you know, everybody else sees as this big tough guy, but they come and they confide to us and they can cry on our shoulder and they can kind of talk to us about maybe something that really vulnerable that happened to them as a child and stuff like that. And you know, and to be in that position and have their trust, it's just such a, you know, like a miraculous thing to know that, like, you know, God has bestowed upon you that level of blessing. So
and everyone has something going on. Everyone does. Whether it's, you know, mental or physical, but you know, everyone has something going on at some point of their life.
I agree.
So once again, that's Ron Arenas with Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. And just for the sake of, and I say it every month, or every month I have you on.
You said it earlier today too.
I'm gonna continue to. I want to have the best air quality I can in my house. I have a pregnant wife. You know, we've been putting. She has me put these like little smell good things in the filters that kind of put the smell good through the house. So, you know, and we even have like a humidifier, so that way it's kind of like have the best air quality as we possibly can. Let's talk about air quality in the house and like what I can do for my pregnant wife to make sure that, you know, I and my newborn baby to make sure that, you know,
most people don't think about air quality in their house, but I mean, that's the air that your family's breathing. So, I mean, the first thing is change your air filter every month.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, I will.
That's the biggest thing. But a couple of the services that we provide.
Real quick on that note, though. Okay, so if I'm going to have to change it every month, where can I buy a pack of 20 or a pack of like a quantity pack of?
So you could just go to, the easiest thing would be to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and they have 3 packs of the pleated filters. And they're like, now they're probably like $12 or something for 3 filters.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say the services that we provide, a couple of the services that we started providing is air duct cleaning. So we clean out all the air ducts, get them all nice and clean so that there's no debris and dirt in there. And we do air duct sealing, so you're not wasting that nice cool air on those hot summer days, either in your attic or up on the roof. And you're also not pulling in contaminants through your ductwork. Moisture, contaminants, mold, you know, different things like that.
On average, how often do you think that a duct needs cleaned out?
On average, probably maybe like every 7 to 10 years. It always depends on the user also. And I would suggest if you're moving into a home that's a used home, it's a new home to you, but you know someone else lived there, you probably want to get your ducts clean, just like you get your carpets clean and all that thing, because you know maybe they have animals that you're allergic to, or maybe they weren't a good you know they weren't changing the filter as often as they should have.
You're absolutely right. I'm sold.
When you say ducts, like, because I'm thinking duct tape for some reason. Maybe I'm just ignorant here. So
no, they don't make tape out of ducts. That's not allowed. They outlawed that.
No, but for some reason, like in my mind, I'm thinking like you're gonna duct tape stuff. I don't know why, but that's just the way my mind works. But can you tell us like what exactly that is? Like the duct?
The duct. It's just basically the conduit that the air goes through to reach each room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you have your air conditioning unit, and then from that air conditioning unit, the air is going to travel, and then it's going to branch off into each room, each bedroom, each bathroom, the living room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for schooling me on that.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, it's one, I'm sold. I'll be giving you a call this week. I'll be calling Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to do a duct clean on my house because I just bought my house in October.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And definitely there was one room that we had to like have the carpet cleaned 100 times because they had cats.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that we're allergic to cats, but yeah, I mean we don't have any cats, so it'd be nice to get, you know, all that cat hair out of the ducts and kind of really get it pressured down. So
right,
we'll be giving you some more business. You guys did a really good job on our faucet and our shower system.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Yes, we offer plumbing services also.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff to know. Like, I mean, because in regards to the AC, I remember somebody having a conversation about how it got really cold, and then all of a sudden like it was going to get hot, and then there was probably going to be some problems with it causes like with the air conditioning or just the plumbing. What kind of like things do we have to be on the lookout, like in regards to when the temperature shifts? Like what are we looking at, like that we need to be on the lookout for to like say, hey, I need your help for this?
Yeah, not necessarily problems with the temperature switching off. Just you want to have that air conditioner service so that it's going to be there for you on those hot summer days. Yeah, just kind of like if you want to get your car checked out, make sure your tires are good and your oil is good and all that for that long vacation, that long road trip. Same thing with the summer. We have such a long summer that you want to make sure that your AC is running at peak performance and that it's going to be there for you.
Yeah. And then like in regards to having it run at peak performance, like is it just I know sometimes I've heard of like tune-ups and things like that, but is there anything else besides tune-ups that we need to get done, like to be ready for the summer?
No, just the tune-up. Just we're going to go through and service it. We're going to clean the things that need to be cleaned. We're going to check the different electrical components and make sure that they are in the correct parameters, so that when there is more stress on the system, that they will be running.
Okay. Yeah, because I can imagine if there's a lot of stress on the system, then
that's when it's going to break down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not breaking down when it's 80 degrees. It's breaking down when it's 115 degrees.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's definitely, it makes sense, address it before the season even starts. One, you're probably going to even save yourself some money. Right. And, you won't be part of the rush. Probably get you in there a lot quicker.
Right. You won't be in line waiting.
Yeah. And, you don't want to have to be sitting around in 115 degree temperature waiting for you to come.
Right. Dude, been there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely been there with cars that didn't have AC. Yeah,
that too. I've been there.
Lord, please don't make me go back. So, real quick, Ron, as before we leave, how can people get a hold of you? One, just real quick, the list of services you do, and then how people can connect with you if they want to get you guys' help.
Yeah, we're full service air conditioning and plumbing for both residential and commercial.
Nice.
When we do the duct cleaning and the duct sealing and indoor air quality. So we kind of an air purification.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they can get a hold of us by calling us at 520-440-4069 or go on the internet at picturerockscooling.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, coming June, I will be having a masterclass called Man Search for Purpose. So if you're a man that is in search of purpose, if you just need guidance, that will be giving you the step-by-step process on how to find your purpose and then how to get you started on your goals. So if you're interested, send me an email at ibelievecal@gmail.com, or you can check out my website at ibelieveinmyself.org. Another thing I want to do is I want to give a big shout out to Arizona Rangers in Sahuarita, and a special shout out to Captain CJ for having me speak to their Rangers a few weeks ago. It was an amazing experience, so I'm really grateful for the Rangers out there in Sahuarita and everything that they're doing. And thank you, Captain CJ, again for having me. This is the Common Good Radio Show. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, all you beautiful people out there. I see you right there sitting there with your feet kicked up, just eating those Doritos. I hope you're comfortable. You have a good day?
Chili cheese Fritos are better.
Yeah, okay. Don't judge him.
I know,
okay?
I'm sorry.
He's just trying to live his life.
I know.
With
Well,
his
she's
handsome
eating
self.
chili cheese Fritos. So
Yeah,
I'm with
okay.
that.
That's true. Yeah. Good choice over there, Desiree.
Yeah.
So this is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McLean here with, easy to say, one of my best friends in the whole entire planet Earth. Can't speak for Mars, but definitely planet Earth. His name is Andreas Ruiz of I Believe in Myself Coaching and Speaking, and many of the coolest projects that exist in my life wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this man coaching me in my life and reminding me of what I'm capable of and what God has really guided me and called me to do, and refortifying that regularly. So thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. And here today we have one of many amazing groups that we have in the community that are rolling up their sleeves and diving in and kind of taking their own testimonies and helping other people not have to go through the same suffering and struggling and sacrifices that we did to get through it. Because just to share my background with you, Desiree, I lived on the street for years, and I definitely dealt with addiction myself. I'm a recovering addict myself, and to be where I'm at today, to be able to help other people through that, and to be able to make it so, people that maybe at one time are currently considering suicide can make it out of it and help other people make it out of it is just such a blessing that, goes without words.
Yeah, substance use and mental health disorders kind of go hand in hand. It's, you don't know which one comes first, if they're using the substances to cope with pre-existing mental health conditions, or if it's the other way around, if they have the mental health conditions and are, working backwards. So one can cause the other. We don't know which one comes first, but it's a problem that I think needs to be talked about more and more to help reduce the stigma, so more people are able to seek out help.
Yeah, like when you say that, like, what do you see, like...
Wait, before you ask a question, before she answers the question, let me actually introduce her.
yeah, of course.
This is... Yeah. This is Desiree
Bojevsky.
He's the namesayer. I'm the name butcher. Yeah. Almost. You say it.
Bojevsky.
Okay.
Bojevsky, yes.
And she's with Community Medical Services, and she is the Correctional Health Supervisor.
Yes.
So go ahead,
yes,
please. Yes, my friend.
So in regards to, just some of the stuff that you're talking about, like maybe sometimes people have a mental health condition and then they go towards drugs, or maybe because of the drugs, then the mental health condition develops. But based on like what you do, and, thank you for what you do, what have you seen lately that has been kind of concerning you in the community, or based off like what you're seeing, articles or anything like that? What are you seeing that's kind of like concerning you about what's going on right now in our community?
It's the substances, the different substances that are constantly kind of sprouting out. I mean, we were tackling heroin at first when it came to opioid use, or, maybe first the pills. And then that went into heroin use, and now we're seeing fentanyl come into play. And now that they're having this attack on fentanyl and they're targeting fentanyl, we're seeing other substances come into play, like xylazine and other, things like that, where it's becoming harder and harder to treat somebody and get somebody the help. When it comes to things, fentanyl is so short acting compared to what people were using with heroin, that some people are using 60, 70, 80, 100 pills a day. And that's their personal use. So when we see things like that, it becomes harder to get that person on a path to recovery, and harder to get that person to see that they're able to get treatment, because they're trying to pretty much hold off the withdrawals that comes from opioid use.
So tell us more about the partnership between Community Medical Services and PPEP and CPC, and the work that you've been doing with them so far.
So we've been working with them for quite a while, even before I became involved with helping them. We do a lot when it comes to destigmatizing and getting the word out there that we need to talk about substance misuse, and talk about allowing people to get help for mental health, mental health disorders and things like that. We work with them on a bunch of different committees. I help out with the Opioid Misuse Symposium. I actually spoke for them last year. But we're just kind of like involved in all aspects and being a part of the community, because even though we may only treat the opioid use, we're still part of the community. We want to make sure that the community is aware that we're here and that we can help. So part of the thing, we've done the Treatment Works campaign with the CPC and PPEP, and trying to get the word out there that there's help available. You just got to, ask for it.
So tell us more about the destigmatization campaign and like what that entails. I mean, me and Andreas in some capacity, we're kind of in this field, so it feels like to us it'd be kind of it's a natural explanation. But I know so many of our listeners listening, they're hearing these ideas for the first time, don't even realize this is a problem. Nonetheless, what does a destigmatization campaign have within it?
So first, we can go off of stigma. Stigma is anything that creates a kind of division of an us versus them. So it's, addicts versus normies or whatever. And I dislike the word addict, but I said it there because that's what people are used to hearing. And if we can, that stereotype comes into play, those words that kind of you look at somebody and you say, oh, they're just a junkie. And it's not just that. They are a person. They are somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's brother, sister, uncle, cousin, whatever it is. There's something to somebody. And removing that stigma to show that there's a person underneath there, I think makes that person seem more, it humanizes that person pretty much. It gives them the opportunity to reach out and ask for help, and makes us see that at any point that could be any one of us out there. It's not limited, and substance use and addiction doesn't have it doesn't have like it can affect anybody pretty much.
It's not monolithic.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big word.
Absolutely. I wrote it down just so I can.
I'm writing it down.
Absolutely.
I'll look it up later. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Google.
But so that's this Desiree, and I'm not going to butcher her last name, but it's Desiree with Community Medical Services we have here with us. She's the Correction Health Supervisor. We'll be talking with her more after the break, along with Katie Meyer with PPEP. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain of that very Veteran Rescue Mission, here with my buddy Andreas Ruiz of I Believe in Myself Coaching. So glad that he's here. If you haven't been to veteranrescuemission.org, please check it out. You'll find out more about the radio show, also about our mission, which is to connect homeless veterans with housing. We have a tiny house village. We do benefit navigation. We'll even go to appointments with veterans if you need us to tag along because you don't feel comfortable. Give us a call, 520-329-9192, or go to veteranrescuemission.org. We'll be back right after the break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain, here with one of the handsomest men in the city of Tucson by the name of Andreas Ruiz of I Believe in Myself Coaching and Speaking. If you have an event that you need someone to speak about mental health or just speak about leadership or an array of different subjects that this guy is definitely very proficient on, go to ibelievemyself.org.
Yes. Thank you, John.
You like
I
that?
appreciate it. Yes.
Yeah, you can go ahead and cut that and make that a commercial.
I will.
Yeah. I won't even charge
I'm
you.
going to tell Tom.
A single cent. Yep. Good old Tom.
Good old Tom.
And here in studio we have you go ahead and say it.
We have Desiree
Bo with the B, with the B, right?
Boshevsky.
With the V.
Bo.
But how do you
Boshevsky.
Boshevsky. Okay.
Boshevsky.
Okay,
yes.
we're gonna get it. We're gonna make a whole show, whole segment about how to pronounce her name appropriately.
Boshevsky. Take 20. It's like, and then we also have Kate Meyer, and we were just talking about some.
Is that said correctly, Kate? Okay, good.
I hope so. Yeah. And just some of the stuff that Desiree was talking before we went to the break was extremely powerful. Just a lot of the things that that we're dealing with in the community, and so grateful to have people like Kate and Desiree here in the studio to talk more about this. And we were talking about the destigmatization campaign, and Kate, like,
I want to hear you say that 5 times.
No, I can't even say it once.
Destigmatization.
There you go. I'll leave it up to Kate. She's smarter than me. So,
she looks super smart.
It's just the glasses.
Oh yeah, that's the trick.
Hey, I have glasses. Come on.
I wear glasses too.
Never mind. All right. No, but Kate, tell us a little bit about this campaign, and just please tell us a little bit more
The
about
partnership between PEP and Community Medical Services.
Yeah, so the campaign is a way of highlighting folks in the community who are in recovery and encouraging others to take that first step towards their own path to recovery in whatever means is right for them. The campaign highlights the website, which is cpc.org/treatmentworks.org. And then it goes through all of the different treatment options that there are in Pima County, CMS being one of them, Community Medical
Services.
Community Medical Services.
Say that 5 times.
So we have some folks from CMS who partnered with us, and we have their story, and they're going to read it live on the radio and record PSAs. We have pictures of them with quotes of things that they said about their recovery that'll go on bus benches.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they'll be out there across town.
And it's
nice.
that's really awesome. Just that it's going to be out there, in the benches, where I'm guessing there's some people that are going to be able to relate to those messages, which is beautiful, because those people, maybe that's all they need is just like a phrase or something to let them know that there's still hope.
Yeah, and a friendly face of someone who's going through exactly what they're going through.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I guess in a lot of ways is the work that we all do, is just kind of reminding people you're not an alien.
Right.
You're just a regular old human, just like the rest of us humans that are going through stuff. So use the tools you have of us other humans to get through it, because you will get through it if you choose to get through it.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are having the same experiences.
Absolutely.
And everyone needs help.
Yeah. Yeah, including ourselves. You know, and it's kind of the first segment of the show with Ron Arenas of Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We were just talking about purpose and just the stigma around mental health, you know, and getting help and connecting, you know, and I'm sure, you know, you guys can speak to that, where, you know, that's kind of the first step, is like convincing people that there is help out there and that they're okay for seeking that help and getting that help.
Yeah, and there is a lot of stigma around mental health and addiction, and people are seen as less than human. And until we see people as people first, we're not helping anyone.
And I like how you and Desiree are like on the same page. I can tell that you guys, because that's exactly what Desiree said, you know, like they're people first, and you know what I mean? So it looks like, yeah, you guys are really good friends, I can tell. But I love how you're talking about just looking at the person, and talking about it's a people first project. You know, that's what, you know, we're looking at is important, like the importance of just seeing that person first, because when people are seen, and I don't know if Desiree, you can kind of like tell us like how that felt for you, you know, because you had your challenges, but like to be seen as a person, like how was that experience for you when somebody said, hey, you know, I see you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So really the only time that I felt seen was actually when I utilized services like the syringe service program at SAFE and interacted with people that were advocating for harm reduction. Right when I was using, I would go in there and they would say, hey, nice to see you, or welcome back, or glad to see you. They joke around, you know, welcome back. And there was that rapport, and you didn't feel like you were less than when you went into places like that. And I shared this, you know, a couple of times before with other people, but you go into a convenience store, you go into a supermarket, and you're actively using, the first thing they do is look at you like you're going to steal something. And you may have no intention of doing that. You may have just gotten, you know, EBT. And then even when you use your EBT, they're looking at you like, oh, you're just living off the government, that sort of thing. So there's that whole thing of just making somebody feel seen and cared about and loved. That's actually going to move them forward in their ability to seek or want treatment. We had the privilege of going to the RX and Illicit Drug Summit in Atlanta this past week, and I met the guy that runs On Point, the overdose prevention site in New York City, and the stories that he was telling about how the girls, when they first came in, would put their backpack in front of the mirror because they didn't like looking at their own reflection when they first came to use the services there. And as time went by, they slowly, backpack moved off, and then they were eventually using those mirrors to put makeup on. So that shows how that compassion and that love can go far in just having somebody be able to look at themselves in the mirror.
That's so powerful, and I felt your emotion there. Like that was very powerful. Thank you for sharing that. You know, and so in regards to like, you know, PEP and you know, these two organizations coming together, like what are some things that, you know, people can reach out to you, your organization, for help? Like, because I know PEP does a lot of stuff, but like these two organizations, like what can people, you know, who are looking for help, what can they reach out for? Like any services that you provide in particular?
So CMS, we provide medication for opioid use disorder, things like methadone, Suboxone, and Vivitrol if somebody's struggling with opioid use. That includes fentanyl. We have 4 clinics in Tucson currently, and all of our clinics are available for a walk-in intake. So if somebody's seeking treatment, we try to eliminate that barrier by providing that immediate help rather than making an appointment 3 weeks out. They can come in and get help immediately, and we do the medication. They get counseling, peer support, case management, We've added psych services to our list, so we do have a provider that's able to prescribe like antidepressants or anxiety and address those concerns as well. So we're slowly growing in that, but the website is communitymedicalservices.org.
Nice. And then I have note here about the People First Project, and then Sharps Kiosk in the park.
Yeah, so one of the services that CPC and PEP are providing is through our Medicine Abuse and Prevention Initiative Collaborative, MAPIC. And so we have secured a Sharps kiosk that we've had for quite some time now, and have been working through the different ward offices and the city to try and get approval to put the Sharps kiosk in Santa Rita Park. We finally do have approval from the Ward 5 office from
Richard Fimbres?
yes, thank you, Richard
You're welcome.
Fimbres' office. Sorry, Richard.
He's okay. He forgives you. He's a good guy.
Anyway, so we have approval for them, so we're waiting on what agreements need to be put in place, and then we'll work through the Parks Department to actually have it installed. And then Ward 1 is really wanting one at Estevan Park, and so we are going to start a fundraising campaign here soon to try and raise money to buy another kiosk to put in Estevan Park.
Interesting. You guys are in the middle of it. I mean, those two parks that you named, definitely working in homeless services for the past 15 years of my life, those are the two hot spots in Tucson for sure. Santa Rita Park and Estevan Park. Particularly Estevan Park has a full-blown encampment in the middle of it. So yeah, it's certainly need is there, as much as anywhere. So that's amazing that you guys are there to help. That's super awesome.
And then the other services PEP provides through CPC is mostly prevention related, but we do a lot of professional development with teachers and providers on trauma-informed care,
Okay.
and in specialized populations like LGBTQ and Latinx communities, so that folks are getting the help they need in a trauma-informed and culturally sensitive way.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And we've got about 30 seconds. So how can people get a hold of you guys, and how can they plug in if they're interested in getting help or even supporting you guys? I know you guys are nonprofits, so I'm sure you guys take donations, right?
Oh yes, we definitely take donations. If you want to sponsor the Sharps kiosk, that would be lovely. But people can reach me directly at kmeyer@ppep.org.
Right, and then Desiree, how can people reach you?
So considering my name is so long and I'm not going to be able to spell that out, they can reach me at my work. I'll give my phone number. My work phone number is 520-485-3205.
Okay, is there a website that maybe they can go to, or?
communitymedicalservices.org.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so
Good
much,
stuff.
ladies,
Thank you for
joining
being
us.
here. Yeah, we appreciate you. Yeah.
You're amazing. Keep up the amazing work that you're doing. It's much needed for the community.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain, here with my good buddy Andreas Ruiz. Thank you, Andreas, for joining me once again.
This was fun. It's been a minute.
Thank you for pulling away from I Believe Myself coaching and speaking and helping the kids to entertain the world.
Yes.
Yeah, well done, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
And thank you all for listening. We'll catch you next week. Go to veteranrescuemission.org or homecommunityservices.com in the meantime. And it was good talking with you. You are such a good listener. And you're so cute. Look at you little cute nose. I'm going to pinch you.